Hello, my name is Ash, a counselor in training. This is my Relatable study podcast for individuals who need help studying for their NCE, CPCE, and other related counseling exams. I'm going to go through many questions from multiple resources and make the answers relatable to both you and me. So get your listening ears on and let's get studying. According to assimilation contrast theory, a client will perceive a counselor's statement that is somewhat like their own beliefs as even more similar. For example, assimilation error. They would perceive any dissimilar attitudes as A, even more dissimilar, for example, a contrast error, B, standardization, C, similar to their own, D, paraphrasing. The answer is A. They would perceive any dissimilar attitudes as even more dissimilar, for example, a contrast error. Depending on the client's beliefs, they may perceive counselor statements either even more similar or even more dissimilar to their own beliefs, thoughts, and attitudes. This is also known as an assimilation error and a contrast error. For example, if I, the counselor, said, "Oh, I really love curry. The spicy curry you mentioned is also my favorite." That would be an assimilation error due to the client's belief of liking the same curry that the counselor and believing that the counselor and the client are very similar. Whereas if I, the counselor, said, "Oh, this type of curry is not my favorite because the spice level is way too high for me," that would be a dissimilar attitude known as a contrast error, where the client may believe, "Oh, if they can't tolerate spiciness, then we are not similar." That is a rough example according to the assimilation contrast theory. If I got this wrong, let me know in the comments so we can learn together. Carl Jung believed that teleology must be considered to understand personality. What does teleology refer to? A. Goals. B. The past. C. The present. D. Early childhood development. The answer is A. Teleology is the study of purpose, goals, ends, and functions. Instinctive teleology is concerned with aiming or striving towards goals, whereas extrinsic teleology covers the cases when an object, characteristic, or event serves as a function for something. A good example for this would be a seed's goal is to grow into an adult plant, and as counselors, we may ask why the seed takes its form and features that it does, such as growing into an adult plant. And if we refer to its past in its process of it becoming a seed, we would be looking for an explanation and its guiding principle. For example, we may ask, what's its purpose? Why is it a good seed? And we will find the answer would be, it is a seed that will provide resources such as food, wood, or simple pleasure because of what the plant may be. When counseling a client from a different culture, a common error is made when negative transference A is interpreted as positive transference, B is interpreted as therapeutic resistance, C is interpreted as white privilege, D none of the above. The answer is B. When counseling a client from a different culture, a common error is made when negative transference is interrupted as therapeutic resistance. For example, the client may have some negative beliefs that they are communicating to the counselor in regards to counseling, and the counselor may interpret this as therapeutic resistance because it is coming out as a negative transference. Which of the following pairs of personality theorists and perspective is incorrect? A. Abraham Maslow, humanistic. B. Carl Rogers, humanistic. C. Carl Jung, genetic. D. Sigmund Freud, psychodynamic. The answer is C. Carl Jung and genetic. Carl Jung is a psychoanalytic psychologist who focuses on the unconscious mind and its connections to the collective unconscious. Counselors who have good listening skills: A. Facilitate therapeutic surrender. B. Hinder therapeutic surrender. C. Often have a monolithic perspective. D. Are too non-directive to promote therapeutic surrender. The answer is A. Counselors who have good listening skills facilitate therapeutic surrender. Being able to listen, build rapport, and gain trust of the client will facilitate therapeutic surrender, because listening is a part of the therapeutic process, and being able to reflect, summarize, and paraphrase what the client is saying will help the therapeutic surrender and build that trust and rapport. That is all 5 questions for this episode. Thank you for listening. Keep calm and study on.